Whoa. Am I late? Am I late to my own party once again? Yeah, it looks that way. Ladies and gents, welcome back. This is the live stream. It happens every week and it keeps coming sooner and sooner and sooner and sooner. We keep getting busier and busier and the weeks keep going by quicker and quicker. Chat, come on in here. Get over here. Hey, welcome live chatters and everybody who's joining in this. If this is your first time joining me, this is the Friday night live stream. I normally do content every single day of the week. I do videos in the morning and then I do them in the afternoon. Today was an interesting one. I did a premiere. Anybody keen on that? Leave a comment in the chat here. Let me know what you thought of the premiere. It is just a normal video, but it lets you know ahead of time, and then everybody can watch it live in the time that it's live, and then it's just a regular video after that. YouTube's giving all these new tools that you can use and utilize all the time, and it's a lot of fun. It's fun experimenting with it and seeing what that all is about. Clyde, do something. How are you doing? I'm doing great. How are you, Remnant? Glad to see everybody in here once again. Wow, it was such a really, really quick week. It went by so fast, largely because it was a long weekend last weekend, and this weekend again with another long weekend. Sorry, our American friends, or anybody else. It's not Thanksgiving for you, not yet anyway. Thanksgiving comes a little bit early for Canadians every year. It's in the month of October. So yeah, first weekend of October is Thanksgiving in Canada. November for our American patriot friends down south. Just in time for casting. Nice. Glad to see you come in. Glad to see all of you. And hey, don't forget to hit that like button. We've got a pretty poor ratio going on in the chat right now. 277 people already joining us here tonight and 74 likes. It's a really amazing thing that works on YouTube. What they do is they look at the likes and they make recommendations based on those likes. So if you like this channel and you want to help it grow, it's always very helpful if you hit that like button, and the chat's growing and so are the likes. I like seeing that. That's fantastic. Great video from the Best Damn Roofer. That's right. It was a good video. We're gonna go over that, and we're gonna have Best Damn Roofer in later on in an hour, and we're gonna have him on to chitty chat about the trades and talk about what it's like to be a tradesman in Canada and what cancel culture is all about, because that really is, at the end of the day, is the underlying discussion in all of this. Is yeah, cancel culture is an issue, but is it really for a tradesman? Is it really? Because yeah, it's kind of hard to get canceled when everybody needs you anyway. I mean, you know, what are you gonna do with a tradesman? You gonna fix your own car? You gonna roof your own house? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna hold your nose and you're gonna hire the guy anyhow. That's usually what goes on. And if you maybe in your inner circle, maybe, well, I'm not talking about you guys per se, but in the inner circles of the cancel culture-ease, they'll stand around and sniffing their own farts and telling each other how great they've done and canceling all those nasty free dummers, as they call them. What is that? Free dumb? Saying that freedom is dumb? What? I think it's kind of a good concept. We fought for hundreds of years for it. But anyway, hanging out in their circles going, yeah, I really stuck it to that guy. All he wanted his freedom back. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to use your service. And then when he really needs it, he just calls up and just doesn't mention it to his friends. Yeah, I'm going to use that service anyway. Need it. It looks like I need it. It looks like that might be a thing that is written in the stars. You're going to need something like that. But yeah, Best Damn Roofer is going to be joining us later in the show. Looking forward to that. I've been following him for a good amount of time, since the Freedom Convoy, as he was out there making a real show of things, and it was fantastic to watch. But this is the video that we're talking about. Now, a whole year ago, he did a video saying that when he knows that it's liberals, that he's working on their roof, he charges them 25% more. You know how you can tell they're liberals? They drive BMWs. He's just, oh, it was funny. A big joke, but the cancel mob came out, said, look at this guy. He's from Niagara. I found out where he works, what company he works with. And we're gonna cancel this guy. Tell everybody to not ever use this roofing company. And well, a whole year later, he came in for a report. Just a little what say you? Just a little update on the situation.
Hey guys, just me, Lord Big Time here today. And since I was attacked by the left socialist communist snake mob, I was under fire for bad reviews and people trash talking me online, saying that I'm an alcoholic, trying to call every client that I've ever been with or anyone I'm associated with, calling me names, calling me a drunk. And guys, I just want to let you know what that actually did for me. It gave me a plethora of work, and now the people that hire me are definitely liberal, so that's a good thing. And then you called and told them I was a bunch of drunk idiots and I'm a piece of shit, so now majority of the homeowners leave me a full case of alcoholic beverages. Well, hate to be rude. If someone gives you a drink, you drink it.
Cheers to that.
Here's to the left mob. Thank you very much. Big time!
Thanks a lot, left mob, for for helping this guy out. That's amazing. There's no better advertisement than that. Hey, guess what? You need a roof and you're in the Niagara region? Well, how about somebody you can support? Well, there you go. There it is. This guy's not running into any shortages of business, while a lot of other people are not doing so hot in those inner circles. But what a funny dude. Always doing good content. This one killed me. Yeah, because I was mentioning in a recent video, my son, he identifies as Spider-Man, and what should I do with the whole like kids identifying as stuff? And well, he's got his own idea for his kid. Well, his kid's got his own idea, because now it's kids that they call the shots, right? They're the ones that make up their minds. The adults don't guide them. That's not what's happening anymore in this society.
Hey guys, it's me, Mr. Freedom. My 7-year-old son told me that he is a tractor. So I want to be inclusive, and I want to, stand by what he believes. So right now I've put him out to work in the field. He's tilling a field right now with his bare hands, or what would be his tractor implements. And it's pretty hot out there, so I know he's a tractor, so he doesn't really need water. So I gave him diesel fuel. And I think he's gonna do all right. I'm pretty proud of my son. Way to go, a little tractor. Or he's not even my son anymore, he's my tractor. So my tractor's killing it out there, drinking diesel fuel and tilling the field with his implemented hands that he said he was. So.
Hey, just being inclusive, this is just being inclusive and making sure that we give everyone a safe place, a safe space. The farmer's field, you can go out there and till that field up, get that going. Somebody in the chat said you should have him on as a guest. He'll be on in an hour. Don't worry, he'll be in here. We're gonna chat it up. I've got him all lined up for tonight, so this is gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to this. Well, let's get into some of these stories before that happens, because there's a lot to cover tonight. There's a whole bunch to talk about. I wanted to talk about some of the stuff. There's a bit of news from the U.S. that's breaking, and we know there's the whole culture war and these protests and all this stuff that goes on. There was actually a tragedy in the U.S. and it was someone from the other side, and I don't celebrate this stuff, but I do want to showcase it on the channel to talk about these things, right? So Andy No, if you don't know him, he's a reporter from originally from the West Coast in America, and we don't know where he is now. He can't be anywhere near those people because he's been attacked by those people in the past. But this is the case of Ryan Carson. So unearthed social media post from. Let's get into this. This guy, he's a well-known Antifa and activist on the left. He's been very well. Let's just read this unearthed social media post from the guy who lost his life. He lost his life in this situation in Brooklyn. BLM Antifa activist Ryan Carson show he had a history of celebrating death and violence towards conservatives. Carson was stabbed in the heart in a black Brooklyn neighborhood by a black male suspect, and you can read the report here. There's a lot to be said about this. Now, there's footage of the attack. I'm not going to show the attack and what happened, but there was Carson was with his girlfriend, and they were seriously, like, literally just minding their own business here on the street when the assailant here, he you can see he attacks somebody up the street randomly, just absolutely randomly attacks the man, and then I'm not sure if Carson says something there. And then some altercation ensues where the guy doesn't want to have a scenario with this man. And anyway, I can't show this stuff on YouTube, but it's left with the man slain there and his attacker threatening the woman here. Now, I just want to point this out because I don't think people should celebrate this. I think this is tragic. It's terrible. And this is, you know, unfortunately, this guy has been advocating for all the type of policies that leads to this type of violence being noticeably seen on the streets all the time. And it's really unfortunate in an ironic sort of way that he falls victim to the scenario that he's really advocated for in America. And like I said, no one should be celebrating this, but this is the case. Murdered Brooklyn Antifa activist Ryan Carson, who is celebrated by leftists and Democrat for his kindness, had locked his two accounts, Ryan Carson and the girlfriend's one, but posts have emerged showing him celebrating death and violence. So there was a lot of stuff here when Rush Limbaugh died. Obviously, this is his celebration of that. There was a third precinct was being destroyed, saying that this is really good. High political organizer here. It's not bullying to hold elected officials accountable. That being said, I would love to shove this little effing nerd in a locker where he belongs. So obviously not the right approach, and really unfortunate, really unfortunate. But the man who attacked him was apprehended, and not looking so tough anymore. Yeah, this is, yeah. I mean, there's no winning in situations like this. It's absolutely bad, but this is pushed on by the left at the time, and I was following this quite closely in the United States as Democrats, when Trump was the president of the United States, were encouraging this type of behavior, and I'll show you a clip here.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right, to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed.
Anyway, so he keeps going on and on and on and on and on, and then when the violence comes, they act surprised. But this is a really sad situation, and I don't wish this upon anyone, really. But I think people need to stop and reflect on what actually happened here. Somebody lost their life, and it was largely due to the policies of the left in New York. And someone who was quite awful in his rhetoric and awful in the things that he would say, ended up becoming the victim in this whole scenario. And I want to showcase these things, but I don't want to. There is no celebration here. This is not something worth celebrating over. It's definitely a tragedy. But anyway, moving forward, the question of the day here today was, what do Freeland and Hillary Clinton have in common? Well, cattle cars, of course. That's right, cattle cars, because they both are advocating for, well, one has it in their family lineage and in their history, and one's advocating for it right now. Hey, why would we be doing that? Interesting question. Anyway, Hillary Clinton was interviewed recently, and here's the interview here. Here's the really shocking clip that, I mean, it just speaks for itself. We've been seeing so much of this, like our political opponents are the enemy, you know, like really? Okay, how far does it have to go before it's gone all the way? Here we go.
Very strong partisans in both parties in the past, and we had very bitter battles over all kinds of things, gun control and climate change and the economy and taxes. But there wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party as it is today. Mm-hmm. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions.
We brought court cases against him, frivolous lawsuits, and look at, he's got to defend himself. I can't get enough of this stuff. You throw everything at the guy, and then you throw the fact that stuff is being thrown at him as an indication that he's not trustworthy. That is just precious. That is just precious. But it gets very interesting here.
And when do they break with him? Because at some point,
when do they break with him? Because we thought they would have broke with him already. We thought they would have already saw him as a bad guy because we framed him that way. Why won't they just relinquish and submit? Well, what do we do then?
Well, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen. And how do you? Very strong.
There what? There needs to be a what?
Maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen. And how do you? Very.
A formal deprogramming of the cult members. So Hillary Clinton does not like Donald Trump, and she's not very happy with the deplorables, as she called them, the basket of deplorables. The racists, the misogynists, the homophobes, the Islamophobes, the everything we can throw at a group of people. And we're starting to see this now, because all that stuff is getting thrown at, like, the Muslim community in Canada now. They're running out of villains. They're running out of people to demonize. But so the basket of deplorables, this whole basket of deplorables, they haven't come over to the dark side. They haven't come to the Democrat side. So we need to rally them up, corral them up, and deprogram them. That's what a world leader just said. Someone who is a political world leader, used to be the first lady of the United States of America. She said that the followers of her political rival need to be gathered up and deprogrammed. I don't even know what we do next with that. What do Where do we go? Where do we go with that? Except to look at some of the stuff that has been said by some of the people that these people hang around with. Yeah, Funny Mustache Man said it too. Absolutely. That holy cow. Holy cow. I want to take a quick break here. I noticed there's 765 of you beautiful people out there, and there's only 301 likes on the video. Go hit that like button. Get those numbers up. It guarantees that we get more people to hang out with in future live streams. I really look forward to that, and thank you all so very, very much for that. Got a super chat in the chat here. Demo Gorgon Ramsey with the 1359 super chat. Can that Trump derangement syndrome warmonger show us where the Trump has touched her on a puppet at this point? Because yeah, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what she's claiming. Thank you so much, Ramsey, for that super chat. Steve's Hyde also with a $5 super chat. I never thought joining a cult was so easy. All I did was think. Yeah, apparently that's all that's about. Chat, help Clyde do something about the amount of likes. Yeah, thank you, Snatch. Thank you, Snatch, in the chat for that. Absolutely, thank you so much. The likes, they help out so much. The algorithm gets the signal and it says, you know what? You guys like this. I bet you I know a whole bunch of other people that would like this as well. Let's get those people in here. Send those recommendations out. And that's where we're going to go with that. Michael McLean with a $10 super chat. Hi, Clyde. Thanks for having me on your show. Of course. Thank you for joining me to talk about the Victoria incident, the March for Kids. Vic Kids March. Some of the comments... thought the girl in the photo I sent with you was with the alphabet mob. Wanted to clarify, she definitely was not. No, she definitely was not. I've got that photograph here. Why I have it queued up in my... I always have so many tabs open. But this is... this woman is not with that crew of people. In fact, you can see there's a bunch of people here that are standing. I'm not sure which side all these people are, but yeah, vouched for by Michael McLean. Thanks again for this the $10 super chat. But yeah, she's very, very much standing her ground, saying they are not your children. Because I mean, if it was the other way around, if it was them saying they're not the parents' children, that would be just even more disturbing. But not that we didn't see any signs such as that. Anyway, moving on. Let's get into how deranged, speaking of derangements, this is how deranged some of these people that hang out in these elite circles are. And that would include Hillary Clinton and Chrystia Freeland. She's actually the sitting board member for the World Economic Forum, which a lot of these deranged ideas come from. This is from Jim Ferguson. Report, Transhumanism and the World Economic Forum's New World Order. The unsettling echoes of Harari's useless class, a term used to describe people who lose their economic and political value in the age of AI automation, resonate with shadows of a past drenched in elitism and profound dehumanization. Harari, by the way, is Klaus Schwab's right-hand man. He's the little buddy, his little buddy at the World Economic Forum, the think tank. In the 21st century, the really important resources are not land or livestock. They are knowledge and data. Those who excel in these fields would come to dominate those who don't, warns Harari. The stark parallel with the clankety-clank, World War II bad guys ideology, cast millions as subhuman is a haunting reminder of the catastrophic consequences of devaluing human life. Harari also explores transhumanism, the enhancement of humans through advanced technologies, raising crucial ethical questions. The greatest scientific discovery of the 21st century will be will probably be the direct linkage between biotechnology and AI. Harari notes, emphasizing the potential for unequal access to enhancements. It conjures disquieting reflections on ethical lines and value of humanity. We must ardently resist narratives and advance the that infringe upon the innate dignity, equality, and the value of every individual. The concept dividing human into useful and useless is not only morally reprehensible, but also perilous. Now, we've had a taste of that here in Canada with, I'm sure you've heard this expression before, essential and non-essential. You have your essential and your non-essential businesses. You have your essential people and non-essential people. Essential workers, not essential workers. This is all getting people used to the idea of dehumanizing them and labeling them as useful or useless, as in the useless eaters. Well, we've heard this type of rhetoric before. It's our shared responsibility to foster open, inclusive, and ethically grounded dialogues to navigate the labyrinth of AI and transhumanism, ensuring a future that honors the intrinsic worth and rights of all individuals. The shadows of our history must guide our moral compass, steering us away from dehumanization and towards a collective respect for human beings, not a collective in general. What's most important is the individual when it comes down to it. The utmost thing we need to protect is each individual. And this is why groupthink is terrible. The idea that particular races have a certain superiority or a priority over other races, things like that. No, the ultimate minority in any society is the individual. And every individual is that minority, and thus they must be protected, which would include every single person. Recent events in the Canadian Parliament are a stark reminder that there are people currently in power pursuing very dark agendas, which echo back to some of the darkest chapters in human history, namely the clankety-clank mustache people from the World War II, and their guest for total global dominance and imprisonment of the human race. Whatever name they're going by matters not. The same motives and evil arrogance of the globalist parasite class remain the same. Weapon, oh, that's good. Weapon SS starts with WEF. It sure does. So that's really, really amazing write-up here by Jim Ferguson. You're going to end this off with some of the clips from Yuval Harari, and just how much we need to be careful about swaying away from tradition and going into this postmodern thought process that gets into moral relativity, because the dangers of moral relativity are any narcissist can come in and gaslight you into thinking that these things that they're advocating for are actually moral. And I'll tell you what, usually it's them trying to convince themselves that what they're doing and they know is immoral is moral. They're trying to convince themselves, not just you.
Would constitute a new useless class. When I say that these are useless humans, it's not from the viewpoint of the mother, of the wife, of the son.
Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
First, we've got population.
Would constitute a new useless class. When I say that these are useless humans, it's not from the viewpoint of the mother, of the wife.
Most of us would think that this kind of people are kind of useless. You know, the elites, especially in a time where everything is decentralizing and industry doesn't really need these industry moguls and think tanks and leaders and all this other stuff. Maybe they're the useless class. I don't know. Just throwing that idea out there. 100 Dead 001 with the membership. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel and the membership. the membership class. should we change the name of it to Useless Eaters? Welcome to the Useless Eaters group. We can all be useless eaters together. Excuse me. All that useless eating I did earlier. I got the burps. But he had more to say, and this is just, it's incredible, the kind of rhetoric that's coming out of these elite circles and what they actually believe. Like when you listen to these people, when they say things, believe them.
I think once you're superfluous, you don't have power. Again, we are used to the age of the masses of the 19th and 20th century, where you saw all these successful, massive uprisings, revolutions, revolts. So we are used to thinking about them.
You know what we're also used to is a ruling class. We got used to the ruling elite. Maybe we need to ditch that one too.
Masses as powerful. But this is basically a 19th century, a 20th century phenomenon. I don't think that the masses, even if they somehow organize themselves, stand much of a chance. We are not in Russia of 1917 or in 19th century Europe.
Bang! Well, I don't know who does those sound effects. It's quite funny when they add those. G Meister with a $10 super chat. I'm shocked that Mary Simon had time to make a statement. She's usually too busy jetting around around the planet and spending hundreds of thousands of our tax dollars on meals and accommodations. Yeah, absolutely. But she did. You're talking about the Governor General that made a statement denouncing or apologizing for not the clankety clank mustache dude that was recently celebrated. No. One that was given the Order of Canada. We're gonna get into that, but was given the Order of Canada back in 1987, which coincidentally has direct ties with Chrystia Freeland. Whoa. Thank you for the super chat. G Meister, appreciate it.
Now it's like a second industrial revolution, but the product this time will not be textiles or machines or vehicles or even weapons. The product this time will be humans themselves. We are basically learning to produce bodies and minds. Bodies and minds are going to be, I think, the two main products of the next wave of all these changes. That is optional. Again, and if you think about it from the viewpoint of the poor, it looks terrible because throughout history, death was the great equalizer. The big consolation of the...
Same with the French Revolution, and a bunch of them too. Every time the ruling class becomes too comfortable in saying such things, be careful what you ask for. Holy cow, Yuval. Holy cow. And I'm not advocating for any of that stuff, but when people hear that kind of thing, people get upset. And I would, again, not advocating for anything like that, but wow, there's a phrase that came from that. Heads roll. when that kind of thing. Oh man, these people are skating on thin ice. Holy cow! I wouldn't want any of that stuff to happen. You might want to chill back on the rhetoric. G Meister with a $2 super chat. Hit the damn like button. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate this. David, stop this, Clyde. What am I gonna stop? Except to show people exactly what these people are saying. If you know what they're saying, then we all are wiser because of it. And this is a thing. Share it around. People think this is conspiracy theory territory. It's crazy. I know. It's insane. I've been following this World Economic Forum since before the pandemic and just seeing what they've been doing. And they're not shy about it. They've always had their own YouTube channel. They got a website. They publish all their articles. They talk about all of this stuff. Yeah, I like that, the Weffen SS, because that's what they are.
Was that, okay, these rich people, they have it good, but they're going to die just like me. But think about a world, say, in 50 years, 100 years, where the poor people continue to die, but the rich people, in addition to all the other things they also get exemption from death. Once
So playing God, trying to play God. Okay, good on ya. My daughter asked me one time because she was like, "Dad, what is God? What is God? I keep hearing about this." I said, well, you know, a lot of people believe different things. You know, there's the Abrahamic faiths. They believe in their one God, and there's the Buddhist faiths. They believe that maybe there's many gods. You know, explained about a bunch of different beliefs that people have for gods. I let my children decide on their own and give them all the information that they can get their hands on. But she was curious about it, and she said truthfully, she looked at me and she said, "Dad, why don't people just become gods?" And it took me back for a moment. It took me back, and I just said, I thought about it for a second, and I said, "That's a really good question, honey." And I said, you know, a lot of people have tried over the years. There's been a lot of attempts, but I'll tell you one thing. Every time that someone has tried, they end up becoming the devil. And then she said, "Dad, what's the devil?" And then we had a long talk. We had a long talk about that. And I really believe that anytime people try to play God, they become the devil.
really solve a problem like direct brain-computer interface. When brains and computers can interact directly, for example, to take just one example, that's it. That's the end of history. That's the end of biology as we know it. Nobody has a clue what will happen once you solve this. If life can basically break out of the organic realm into the vastness of the inorganic realm, and you cannot even begin to imagine what the consequences will be, because our imagination at present is organic.
See, the thing is, we have broken out of this realm. We have, but it's, you know, each life is an individual portion of all of that. We're all part of, I mean, you can call it God's children, you can call it the universe, you can call it all these things. But when you start messing with that, you're not going to get what you think you're going to get. You know what I mean? And this all really comes out of pride and arrogance, really, which are two, like, the seven deadly sins are the seven deadly sins for a reason. It's unbelievable. So I've always pictured it this, right? These World Economic Forum types, they get their AI. They finally get their AI and a machine that can upload their consciousness into a machine, right? And then they can be one with the thing, and they're gonna become part of this, right? They're transhuman, and they're gonna be infinite and immortals. And so they all gather in their apparatus and in their boardroom or whatever it is, and they all hook up, and they get in there, and they're waiting for it. Okay, we're gonna upload our consciousness to this thing. And then, you know, cinematics occur, lights and all shadows cast, and all the things are happening. They're doing the funky chicken. They come to, and they're like, they all hear upload complete. And they're like, wait a second. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm here. And the computer says, "Yeah, no, got it. I got it. I got all your stuff. It's fine. You can just go ahead and die like a normal person now." oh, how anticlimactic for them would it be? How crazy would that be? All they did was just uploaded their consciousness. Do a thing. Wow. So your thought, just always be careful what you wish for in this stuff. And this is incredible. These people thinking that they're going to become immortals. And it's absurd. It's absurd at the end of the day. It's absolutely absurd that they would even want this. But that's it. That's what pride will get you. Satan fell because of pride. There you go. My dog eats jeans 72. Like that. I like that. That's funny. With a $10 super chat that says $15. Well, I really appreciate that. My dog eats jeans 72. Love the name, by the way. That's fantastic. That's too funny. They want to be immortal because or they want to be immortal at our expense, but it's all at their expense. This pursuit, I mean, you waste your entire life pursuing immortality. And I mean, so many great writers, fiction writers have written about the fruitless pursuits of immortality. And this is happening. This is happening. There are people out there that are trying to do this. Cody E, member for 14 months, says, 14 months, I've been around you people too long. Here's another 14. Here's for another 14. Awesome. Glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. 14 months. I've been at this for so long. That's crazy. 14 months. Fantastic, though. That's really, really cool. Shazam was just a genie in a bottle from the 80s. Okay. I thought Shazam was the Captain Marvel guy. That he had to change his name to Shazam for DC Comics. Anyway, I'm not going to get into a comic book conversation here on the live stream. Not happening. Not happening. We're going to move on with this. But yeah, there's more of this Yuval Harari saying is just awful, awful things.
Small elite that pushes things in its own interests, even if it doesn't benefit the vast majority of the population. This has happened so many times previously in history, and it's probably going to happen again.
It's happening now.
One of the biggest dangers to the planet today is this technological utopia, because probably for the elite it will work. If bad comes to worst, and when the flood comes, the scientists will build a Noah's Ark for the elite, leaving the rest to drown, the rest of the people and then the rest of the ecosystem. But they are likely to be able
we can't see it. Sorry.
Ark,
sorry about
which
that.
is probably what much of the elite is counting on. Small elite.
It's just him sitting in a chair. Oh, how did I forget that? My bad. Thanks for telling me in the chat about that. 100 dead 001 with a $10 super chat. Subscriber since the convoy. First time watching the live stream. Usually watch in the morning. I figured I might as well do something while I'm here. Thank you for your hard work. Well, thank you for the super chat, and thank you for coming for the live stream. This is a lot of fun, and it's my way of giving back to the community and hanging out. I do keep the live streams up so people can catch them afterwards, but the live stream experience is just so much more fun. I really like interacting with everybody, and I was doing the podcast before. Now I've incorporated both. So half the live stream is all engagement with you guys, and then the other half is amazing guests. And I have a bunch of really cool guests lined up. Tonight, obviously, the best damn roofer, and then we have some other great guests coming up very soon. Just making sure, doing confirmations, making sure that that's all lined up and happening. So yeah, join us more often. Love to have you. Absolutely. Thank you so much. 100 dead. Appreciate that. Steve's Hyde with a $5 super chat. They might be able to make a copy of themselves, but they will expire. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole idea. They're plugged in, and then they make a copy, and then they pull it out, and they're like, oh, I guess immortality isn't what I thought it was. It's not you. It's not you. You don't get to have it. You don't get to have it. Get over this. Get over this fact. Dying is a part of life, and this is just something that we all live with and we all cope with. And for some people, it's difficult to deal with, and some people it's difficult to come to grips with. But it is, in my opinion, very important for people to come to grips with your own mortality, because it's coming around the bend. It comes at some point, but that's the time when you celebrate life. It's great. And all the things, you know, people don't want to age, but then, you know, when I see my grandparents, or my grandparents, when I see my parents playing with my kids, just the look that they have, and it's, I think I think it's like the final prize in a game or whatever, when you get to like, you get that final prize. I swear there's endorphins and all this stuff going on in the mind of a grandparent when they're by their grandkids, and I think it's amazing. It's amazing to picture, and I can't wait to get old and see my grandkids one day. And I think it's something to look forward to. Yeah, you know, you're not gonna be a young whippersnapper anymore, but definitely is a great thing. At the end of the day, it really is. Where was I going with some of these stories? I wanted to talk about briefly here. Oh yeah, economics. Some of the stuff that's going on with the housing crisis here in Canada, because it is just ridiculous what's happening here. And I know a lot of people are worried. A lot of people are absolutely worried. What is going to happen? The prices of homes are so crazy. The economy's slowing down. We actually have even more stories. I think I might even have to pull some out of some other sources that I have here. But let's get into it. Wanted to talk about this. I talked about this the other day, but let's talk about here in the live stream. And I'm sure people in the chat, let me know in the chat if you're worried about this. Now's the time to talk about it, because it is just crazy. Canadians are facing financial storm, and experts say it's time to plan ahead. Canadians are continuing to feel the pinch on their wallets with inflation, interest rates, and cost of living creating an intensifying financial stress storm. According to a survey by the National Payroll Institute, the survey of 1,500 working class Canadians, so it wasn't a huge sample size, but 81% who are full-time workers found the number who considered themselves financially stressed has jumped by 20% in the past year to 37% overall. According to NPI, President Peter, not going to pronounce that, its organization has done survey since 2014. Okay, whatever. That's your survey company. Now, this has become a big issue enough that the political candidates, the opposition is talking about it, and even to the point that Mr. Well, let the budgets balance themselves. You're gonna have to forgive me if I don't think about monetary policy. Like the guy who's a total idiot, absolute idiot. Clyde, the banks are not They're not enforcing on defaults yet, but will be soon. So they're not foreclosing on people. Yeah, similar thing happened in the 08 bubble in the U.S. They just weren't foreclosing on people. People were just defaulting, and then they were just like, "There's too many. Can't do anything about it. What do you do?" Yeah, it was a really, really crazy thing. Clyde is buying up all the houses and farmland. Yeah, I wish I kind of had that kind of dough, but maybe I will be when the prices all come down. But here's the thing: it's this really crazy push and pull in the economy right now, where you have a massive amount of demand for homes, but the homes are at their utmost inflated they'll ever be. I don't think they'll go any higher. We're talking $1 million for a townhome in rural places in British Columbia. $1 million for a townhome attached to somebody else's house. Crazy that you have to pay fees every month for the upkeep and stuff. So ridiculous world we're living in, and the demand is so high for houses, and yet it's at the height, and the prices are going to start falling because of rising interest rates. Now, as they're falling, people don't want to get into the building business. You start building a house, I mean, first off, you have to pay for all the permits. It'll take you years before you can even get to the building part of things, which is a big problem. And Pierre Polyev points this out quite a bit. Dale Taylor with a $6.99 super sticker, number 1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Dale. So Pierre has been pointing out that side of things. He hasn't been pointing out so much the immigration side of things. There's a big elephant in the room, but the immigration thing, from his perspective, and I'm making assumptions here, he hasn't really come out and said this, is probably the unfunded liabilities of the retiring classes, the elders, the baby boomers that are all going to be retiring and leaving back behind a diminished workforce that are going to have to pay for those retirements, because you know the governments didn't save that money, and we owe all that money as in bonds. We owe a ton of money in bonds, and this is a real double whammy because nobody has the incentive to make houses right now because of high costs for building materials, shrinking returns when they sell the homes, regulatory burdens, everything. There's no incentive to really be building these houses, and the demand is still going way up. It's crazy. We're in a really crazy push and pull economy that I've never ever seen before. Now, this was brought to my attention today. Snatch, my moderator, gave this article to me. Urbanize says, bad news for housing. 71,000 construction jobs shed in Canada this year to date. This is as of August 8th, 2023. The number's probably even higher. There are renewed Canada-wide calls to address the national housing crisis by building more new additional supply as a key strategy, but the country's capacity for achieving this housing supply through new construction is shrinking, continuing a pre-pandemic trend of shortage of skilled trades workers. But at that same time, they're laying people off. What is going on? Newly released data from Statistics Canada shows that the country's employment in the construction sector dropped by 45,000 positions in July, representing a 2.8% decrease, and 14,000 in June, representing a 0.8% decrease. Construction's huge in Canada. It's massive, absolutely massive. For the losses in July alone, British Columbia led with the shedding of 21,000 construction jobs, followed by Quebec's drop of 11,000 and Ontario's drop of 9,000. Over the first 7 months of the year, since January 2023, employment in construction across Canada has fallen by 71,000. This offset the increase of 65,000 between September 2022 and January 2023. In fact, the construction industry led Canada's job losses by a wide margin in July, followed by job losses in public administration, information, culture, recreation, transportation, warehousing, and professional, scientific, and technical services. This is just insane. It's off the chains to consider. We need all these new houses, but they're laying off in the industry that makes new houses. What is the reason for the layoff? Well, that's unclear. That's actually unclear. We don't know, because all the signs are pointing to them wanting to make new houses, but it looks like we're at a bit of a situation here. Now, obviously, as I was getting into it, Pierre Poilievre had some stuff to say about Trudeau, a little bit of a back and forth, yada yada, talking about this. But when it comes down to it, this is the situation. Like, renters in Canada are really hooped. Like, what do you do as a renter? Here's a friend of mine. He sent me this message because he recently lost his rental because the owner of the place wants to get out. I'm guessing he wants to get out of his investment because he's seeing the writing on the wall. And he's like, I got to get out of this house. It's burning me alive. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell it. So he gets kicked out of his place. He sends me this letter. He says, man, the rental market here is so effed for families. It's been normalized where people rent out bedrooms instead of whole houses. The landlords do this for more money, and tenants do it so that they can have a house that they can't afford. Problem with that though is look at the rentals available in our town. There's like 4 3+ bedroom places and dozens of 1-bedroom places. 3 in the whole town. 3. Dozens of 1-bedrooms, dozens of other homes where there are bedrooms in houses. If politicians can do anything to help the rental market, it's to restrict how types of homes are rented. This is his suggestion. And the other one I'm seeing a lot of is people trying to rent their homes for like 4 to 6 weeks while they travel. They're trying to subsidize these places. Pay us to house sit for our house. And we have a cat as well, so you'll have to take care of that as a bonus. It's just incredible. How can they pull this on people? But these are some of the prices of houses. 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,400 square foot townhouse. Yeah. $4,000. $4,000. You think you can afford that? That is just insane. What do we have here? Oh, a brand new fully furnished 3-bedroom plus. $5,750, like $5,800 for a townhouse. What else we got? We got here Lux 4-bedroom modern affordable home. Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's got a great view, but $8,200. Like who's renting these out? What is happening here? But I have a feeling as more and more people get pushed out of the housing market, pushed out of their homes, due to not even being able to renew their mortgages with rising interest rates and just not even being approved for this stuff, we're going to see more and more cases where people are, just put out into the renters market. And this is what they're going to be met with. Not a lot of real rentals. What are people actually going to do at this point? And we'll talk more about the construction industry here real quick, but I want to show you this. This is the one video. This is a short one. I'm going to get into this one first. This is the argument between Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau. It was they're discussing the economic situation here in Canada.
So there is one good news headline. Apartment rents are on the verge of declining due to massive new supply. Unfortunately, that's a CNBC headline from the United States of America. Here's a CBC headline in Canada. Rent is going up more than $100 a month right now. And another one, and the Prime Minister's favorite, the Toronto Star, that this year we're having worse construction numbers than during the lockdown. Why is construction up and rent down south of the border when it's just the opposite here in Canada?
Mr. Speaker, we know we need to build more rental constructions more quickly. And that's why we put forward a bill that removes the GST from new rental constructions across the country and on the federal side. And that is actually spurring thousands of new units to be built across the country. It's a very exciting measure, except unfortunately, Conservatives have chosen to obstruct debate on that particular measure. Why won't they line up with Canadians? Why don't they see that building housing supply is going to help Canadians right across the country? Why won't they line up with us and support Canadians across the country?
Mr. Speaker, he's the one that's been obstructing that promise for the last 8 years since he made it. But since that 8-year period, the average rent has doubled. Mortgage payments have doubled. The needed down payment has doubled. It has been double trouble. And after doubling the cost, he created a $4 billion so-called accelerator to build homes. How many homes have been completed?
Mr. Speaker, yesterday, following a request from the Minister of Housing...
This is a really good point because, you know, if you're gonna combat the housing situation, you're gonna have to make houses. Like, I think that might be one of the first steps to getting more people in houses. But he makes a really good point here and says that, you know, all of these initiatives, the turnkey project, whatever, they're not turnkey projects. They're not getting done. And any of this stuff, especially with the GST stuff that they've been, saying, oh, we're going to cut the GST. That's not across the board. You know, your average, you know, companies that are just building houses or people that are doing construction projects, they're not getting cuts on their GST. No, this is just only for new construction builds on apartment buildings. Who are building those? Probably Trudeau's buddies. That's usually the case there. One WW guy with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Put something in the chat if you want to say something as well. So yeah, get in there. Thank you so much, one WW guy. We're gonna get into this, but why don't we ask about the construction industry to tonight's guest? I invited him on because he's a fellow tradesman, and we, you know, most people who follow this channel know that I'm an auto mechanic. This is what I do full time. This is not what I'm doing on YouTube here, but I'm definitely doing this stuff on the side as I pull wrenches during the day. But this guy, he knows a thing or two about pulling nails and swinging hammers. Let's ask him about what's going on in the construction trade industry right now. Here's the damn roofer. I'm hearing myself back. On your end by then.
You gonna say something?
Hello. Check. One.
Hello.
Big time here. Just combing my hair.
Oh, I'm hearing myself back.
I'm hearing myself back.
If you could put on headphones,
or have you got something?
Oof,
we can figure something out. Still?
Yeah, I'm still hearing myself.
myself. Yeah.
This is doing it live, folks.
Get some headphones. Give me 1 second here. We are out of town. We are in Houston right now. So I'm traveling around. Give me one shake.
No worries.
Yeah. Just give me one shake here. I really appreciate having me on the show too.
Absolutely. And thanks for coming. I'm
getting speech jammed right.
All right. Is that better?
No, hold on. I gotta make some adjustments here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm still hearing myself.
Okay. Teach lamb's tail.
Try now.
Is that good now?
I think we're good. Yes, we're good.
Big time.
Thanks for joining me. The best damn roofer. You're all over social medias. We all got to know you during the Freedom Convoy. That's when you made your big debut for most people with your William Wallace-esque showing at the Freedom Convoy.
Well, I was actually I've been doing social media well before the platform, and that's the reason why I painted my face red so people didn't recognize me. So a lot of people in the construction industry already knew me. I've been doing this for about 8 years now, even longer. I'm the #1 selling roofing artist in the world. I'm gonna be the only one, but I'm #1.
Roofing artist. That's okay. They've always got new terms for this stuff. That's amazing.
Well, you know, in Canada, that Walter Ostenak won the #1 accordion player for 30 years in a row on Juno. So I'm gonna try to fucking suck my way to the top and be the #1 roofing artist. It is what it is.
Oh, that's awesome. So what got my attention for you this week, of course, was that video that went viral. Now, you had a video that we lost. Oh, you're back. Okay, we had a video that went viral last year, and that was the one where you came clean about your 25% surplus for liberals. Was that parody, or was that like for real? You actually do that?
I don't like liberal people, so yeah, I do charge you more. And you know, back in the day, we called it asshole tax. That's what it was. So now it's just liberal tax. Got to change pace, right? So every construction person, everyone in the industry, plumbing, framing, floor, carpet layer, you name it. If you don't like the guy, you're going to charge him extra. Just the way it is. You got to put up with your bullshit.
Well,
it is what it is.
Well, I'm a mechanic. I don't know if you heard that as I was doing the intro coming in.
I know you're a mechanic, so you're very familiar with the asshole tax.
I know the drill. You have your car full of stuff, and you might get a little bit of surcharge on top of that. Watch what bumper stickers you have on, maybe. Yeah. we used to get it all the time though, like during COVID, like people. My most favorite one was the I stand up for I stand with our frontline workers or whatever sticker, and then they'd have their snot rags like all over the car, and they hand it to a mechanic. Like, we're the frontline workers too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, my family is a group of firefighters. My grandfather was, my dad was, all my brothers are firefighters, and that's one of the reasons why I went to Ottawa and stood up for our rights, because they were taken away from my family, and they were the people that are there when you call 911. They were the first responders, and my brother was injected with the serum, and he was immediately admitted to the hospital. And my other brother was fired from a position. He's the highest paid firefighter in the country, and they took his job away from him, and he fought for it, and he finally got it back eventually, after being through hell, after all the hard work he's done for our communities. And so I found this whole thing a personal attack on me and my family, that have only done good for our communities and done well for our communities. And although I do jokes online, I'm a very family-oriented man, and we are very involved with our communities, and we are Canadian citizens, and I've been involved with this country for a long time. My great-great-great-grandmother was the first white female ever born in Niagara, on the frontier of Niagara, and her name was Rebecca Green Brigger, and you can see her tombstone at the school zone in Lundy's Lane. And I have been here before Canada has been a country, and my family has heritage here, and we have roots, so we stood up and said, fuck you, Trudeau, you are a garbage human being.
Wow. Okay. Well, I was going to ask you, how did this all come to be?
Here you go. I'm pissed.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, you obviously have a personal stake in this, but a lot of people have personal stakes as well.
We all do,
and that's why so many people resonate with what it is that you're doing. People love how bombastic you are. You come out there, rah! It's happening now, but so many people can relate to knowing someone who's like you, like yourself in their town, someone who's just larger than life and just says it how it is. And sometimes you like earmuffs kids.
No, I'm like the grandpa, I'm an old soul. I was supposed to be born 40, 50, 60 years ago, right? Like, we were all raised with an old soul, and our government and everyone that's been teaching us in our school, our curriculums have taught us to be weak-minded, right? No, stand up for your beliefs, stand up for your values. We've all forgotten what our family values are worth. Why don't we recognize our grandparents and our great-great-grandparents? No. We don't want that. We don't want you to think of your lineage and what you're supposed to believe in. No. They want you to believe in this garbage that they're throwing down your kids' throat, this curriculum, this sexualized curriculum, this satanic cult, all this bullshit. They don't want you to have family values anymore. Of course, they want to destroy the family, destroy the whole network that we have, because that's the closest thing you have. Blood is thicker than water. We all know that. And this whole government has used that to their advantage, and people are falling for it, right? Stand up, know who you are, love your lineage, be proud of what we are, and stand strong.
Yeah, well, that's what parents are doing across the country right now, as more and more parents and more people have been coming on board. Like, I know during the Freedom Convoy, it was largely every Canadian event, and then the media turned it into look at these yahoos, and it's just hicks.
Nazis.
Well, there's that. Nazis. Yeah, they played that.
Remember that though? They called me in. Remember that Nazi card? Let's talk about the Nazi card.
Yeah. So today's Nazi is a little different than last year's Nazi. Apparently.
How about the Parliament Nazi?
Yeah. That's it. So we've been covering.
Who's the Nazi now, right?
Well, that's the thing. So here's the deal, and because I've been talking with people who are organizing for these new events that are coming up. They're very weary of people coming in and doing the false flag thing. They're like, yeah, all it takes is one Yahoo to come in with a sign that says something that's super questionable or whatever, and they can smear the whole thing. And that's what that Nazi flag guy was, right? He came in and he had that flag. He was never seen again. He was on the other side of an area where people can't go, apparently. And then there was also the other guy with the Confederate flag with a truck on it.
But that's the thing. Like we're Canadian. We defeated the Nazis alongside the Russian government, right? We defeated the Nazis, and they're using that against us. They use a psyops against us. Some guy had a Nazi flag. Look at it in the videotape. Everyone believes everything they see on their telephone or their TV, right? They don't actually go and experience it for themselves. And that's the thing with Ottawa. A lot of people just took their opinion from the TV. If you went to Ottawa, there was no Nazis. It was little old ladies and upset people and sad people and people that were really heartbroken because their family wouldn't talk to them because they didn't take an experiment or because they had different opinions. They really divided our country, and they did it with the cell phone. The cell phone, the iPhone, the device has an apple on the back with a bite out of it, much like the story of Adam and Eve, when the serpent convinced them to take a bite of the knowledge. They use their symbolism throughout time, much like the architecture in the Parliament buildings.
Yeah, actually,
Gothic revival architecture. You can see it. It's serpents all over the building. You go down to Ottawa. Go down yourself. I'm not a fucking conspiracy theorist. Go down there and go take a fucking camera and zoom in on there. There's fucking demons written in stone all over that fucking building, and those people are running your children's future.
Yeah, I never looked into what the actual symbology was on those things.
Do it. Fucking do it.
It's interesting though, the apple, the bite out of the apple. I didn't know that that's what that was. It was like the Adam and Eve symbolism in that.
The devil is real. Satan is real.
So Nadine Ness, she's a RCMP, and she's been doing a bunch of work into this. She's a criminal, what do you call her? Profiler, like a psychological profiler. And she did a video, a fantastic video. I want everybody out there to go watch it. I'll leave a link in the description.
Please do.
Yeah, and she put this together, and she mentioned the symbology about how these pedophile groups they like to use this symbology. And as soon as you get into this territory, everybody's like, "Oh, what is this? QAnon? Is this like?"
Yeah,
you know, you talking Pizzagate?
The rich people are really bad. The rich people are really fucking bad human beings. Just all you have to know. So money doesn't bring fucking kindness.
No, but she goes into an organization that there is no conspiracy about. It's a real organization called NAMBLA, the North American Man Boy Love Association, and like that sounds like a joke. It totally sounds like a joke, but it's a real legitimate thing. And they've largely gone silent because they got figured out, and they're off doing other things, and they're infiltrating other groups. And apparently they have a bunch of symbology, and the symbolism has been seen on a lot of these websites for our children's learning center stuff, or organizations that are behind the sex ed. I can't remember the Canadian version of Planned Parenthood, another one of those groups.
Well, the FBI released all the imagery of the pedophile organizations, and one of them looked just like the Trudeau's organization. Right? They use it. They're very proud of it, right?
Yeah, that's absurd. That's crazy.
Satan is very possessed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a super religious guy myself, but I do see.
You don't need to be religious. You just need to know that there's evil and there's good.
Yeah,
and right now,
I definitely believe in that.
That's what I found in Ottawa, that you can see how evil this government was. And there's only one way to turn. When you see that evil darkness, you either go towards it because you're an evil bastard yourself, or you stand up and you say whatever the fuck you can to stand against this garbage. And that's where I came from. I don't care how I do it. I might be different than everybody else. I might be funny. I do my comedy stand-ups, but I stand up and I tell the world the way I feel. And I'm doing it because I know I have to do it. I have 5 children. I have a family, and I have a lineage that I want to protect.
Congratulations, by the way, 5 children. That's amazing. I love to hear that.
I couldn't pull it of a drive-in, my friend.
Cheers to that. I got 2 of my own. We're hoping God will bless us with some more.
Oh, please do. Yeah, family's all you got, buddy. Yeah, blood is thicker than water, right?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic, and I'm glad to see this. Getting back to the convoy. So the convoy took place, and that all of that the government tried to do, gaslighting the Canadian citizens, as we're seeing this thing go down. And you can look online, and there's live streams all over the place, and they go, no, look over here. Let us tell you and explain what's happening in Ottawa right now. And you're like, wait a second, I can see it. These are great people. They're having a great time. There's hot tubs, and they're doing barbecues and feeding people.
There's millions of Canadians there. Yeah.
Yeah, there was so many.
The funny thing about the convoy is that when you're faced with the most darkest thing, humans actually is a creation by the divine creator. Humans will actually harmonize. They will harmonize without this evil entity. So people congregated in front of the most evil organization in the world, and we harmonized under the divine creator. And you can ask any person that was there, I was there, people found faith. People found, even, you don't want to believe in the book that says King James, God, that's fine. But people felt God. They actually, it was an eye-opener for everybody, and I call being born again Canadian. And it was a bunch of human beings that realized that love is stronger than hate. And it was a beautiful thing. And it was one of the most beautiful experiences of my life, besides watching my children get born. And it was something that if you were there, you know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it was. I'm all the way in British Columbia, and I was doing everything that I could for.
Well, they cut us off talking.
No, we're back. It just keeps cutting in and out. It's fine. We'll try to keep the connection going here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little spotty from time to time, but no, I think we should be good. Where was I going with that? I was jumping in on that. I lost my train of thought, but I wanted to talk to you about some things, namely the trades. Are we good? Are we good? Are you still with me?
You keep losing it, man.
I can hear your audio. I don't know if you're hearing me. Frozen up here. Rejoined. Okay, I might have to just bear with me for 1 second here, folks. I'm just going to get him back in. There's just a bit of technical trouble here. So let me
bring him back in.
He hasn't got you in there anymore?
Yeah, there we go. Got you back.
All right, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there.
It looked.
I'm in Houston, Texas right now, so.
Yeah, it looked like the connection just kind of got spotty for a bit, and then we got you back. So I lost my train of thought and where I was going with that.
We were actually being too positive and bringing people together. The government's like, turn this shit off. That's what happened right there. Justin Trudeau's probably crying in his mansion right now, like, these Canadians are going against me and go peace, love, and unity. You know, and he wants to do more blow with Lozinski and his plane in India. Can I say that?
So I wanted to bring up.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. In case the cops are coming here to arrest me.
So I wanted to bring up being a tradesman in Canada, and the big thing that I wanted to bring up was, you know, cancel culture. And cancel culture is such a big issue for so many people that work in office jobs, and you know, the left has infiltrated pretty much a lot of the industries out there. And you say the wrong thing, you got to walk on eggshells. You can't say something on social media. You can't say something out in public. Everybody freaks out, and then you get canceled. You're done. You have no job. You have no way of paying your bills. But it's a completely different game here for us tradesmen. And I wanted to explore this in this chat because, well, you're a roofer, and you recently discovered that cancel culture will actually get you more business.
Yeah. Well, because, like, let's be honest, like, is there that purple-haired, lip ring wearing, overweight child in their basement playing Call of Duty 28 hours a day? I'm going to do my dad's roof. No, he won't. He's lost as his own dad was. Right? We need real men. Men need to work. The whole world's built on men. I mean, we destroyed our family values. They make the woman think they need a job. Mother's job is very important. It should be blessed. It's sacred. A mother's job is the most important job in the world. But our government, our media made you think that you could do better than being a mom. How the fuck can you be better than being a mom?
It's
like, you have a mom, right?
I have a mom.
You have a fucking mom, right? Yeah, you fucking love your mom, right? I love my mom too. She's the best thing in the world. Everyone loves their mom. They think your mom sucks. The whole world thinks, oh, your mom sucks. Well, if anyone tells your mom sucks, you go fucking punch them in the fucking mouth, don't you?
Yeah, I would.
Right? Like, holy fuck, where's all the men at? I'm pissed. But we need more moms. We need that family value because that's the core of our family. And they destroyed that. They made a mother think that she could go and work at Walmart, make $16 an hour, and meanwhile pay somebody $12 an hour to babysit her kid. And then her kid turns 4 years old, goes to school. They never spend any time with their kids. You know how many hours your kid spends in school? 14,000 fucking hours they spend with these fucking teachers.
Yeah, and that's
sick. Why wouldn't you it's obviously a design to destroy our family. They take the mother away. We take everything away. Imagine your mother got taken away when you were a child. You wouldn't be who you are today. You wouldn't be who you are today, right, Clyde?
No, I wouldn't.
Your mother was taken away from you at 2 years old. You wouldn't be you.
No, absolutely
She made
not.
you.
Yeah.
She made you. And they're making everyone think that mothers are worthless. And that's what they've done to our whole society. And I want to say to the leftist elites, if they're watching me, fuck you. Whether you kill me now or later, I ain't done yet. Even after all, I'm going to come and take my fucking spot. We are coming back. Fucking families matter. Mothers matter. And if you don't think so, you can eat my turd cutter. Big time.
You got a way with words. You got a way with words, brother. You definitely have a way with words. Okay, so I wanted to get into this because in British Columbia here, we have this new thing, and this is it's been around for just over a year or so. But in BC, the government is offering $5,000 to employers who ask their apprentices who they sleep with. I'm not making this up. See below when we first started out, employers would be sued for asking such questions. Now we have a government mandating it. Now, I know a little bit about this because, you know, I did an apprenticeship in British Columbia and I had to go through all this stuff. Now, defined in their thing, now they're giving extra incentives for people that aren't, well, you name the group that isn't part of this. A worker who self-reports as a woman, new Canadian, LGBTQ+, Indigenous, a person with a disability, or a visible minority. Reply with all the groups. Do you think they were left out of this one? Now, so
roofer. Roofers left out of the. Yeah, what about the roofers, bud?
So, well, here's the thing. So, what they're doing is they're giving it. They have an incentive program for tradespeople right now in British Columbia anyway, and I think it's federal, but basically what you get is, after your first year of school, you get a bunch of money. You get like $1,000, and then after your second year of school, you get another $1,000. Third year, you get nothing, so that you don't just like stop going to school. And then fourth year, you get $2,000. Now, what they've done is they've doubled it for anybody who's like in one of these groups, right? If you're not just like, so they want to, like, I don't know whether you're trying to leave people out. Now, what I know is that there's not a lot of, like you said, you know, blue hair, nose rings showing up at the shop going, can I work hard and be a mechanic? You know, it's not happening.
Yeah. You want to work for 15 hours a day, like, and do some shingling? Like, they're like, fuck no. Like this, they're not fit for the job. Because they've been designed that way, right?
But the thing is, what they're trying to do is bring in a representation of people that already possibly does exist. Because I gave the example here, the problem isn't that there isn't enough these people. There's not enough people in general in the trades. I work with 2 women, 2 people with disabilities, a visible minority, and a dude who's swung for the other team a couple of times. and they all come to work without these incentives. The reality is there's no reason to discriminate against Canadian-born, able-bodied, straight white males, but it seems to be fashionable, especially in the trades. We'll take anybody who will show up on time, ready to go, with a brain and a good work ethic. Like anyone.
If you want a job nowadays, if you just show up and work hard, like, you got a job. But nobody wants to work hard. Like, it's crazy time, right? Like, imagine trying to convince a child now, or not a child, but like an adolescent in high school, like, you want to be a roofer, like, it's, you know, you're going to be working 14-hour days. You're going to be in hot sun. It's terrible. You're going to cut yourself. You could possibly die every day. It's terrible. Like,
yeah, it's not easy.
Go to Russia. We go to Russia. Those guys are fucking fighting bears, right? So our government's funding a war against Russia. We're teaching our kids to cut off their testicles. These guys are fighting grizzly bears.
Yeah, it's absurd.
And everyone's like, let's go fight you. Let's go fucking go Ukraine. Like, you guys understand what you go? My grandpa came from Russia. He never even fucking smiled. I never even seen my granddad smile. Because he came right from fucking Russia. No, shit, you're not, though. You know what I mean? Like, he never fucking smiled. They give you a backhand, right? And you want to fight these fucking people? Are you out of your fucking mind? You want to fight Russia? They have 2 million civil soldiers.
Oh,
they will destroy you. They destroyed the Nazis. You know who won World War II? Russia did, not us. Fucking, we were all pummeled. They went to go after Russia. They lost the fucking war against Russia. And now in our country, we're fucking saluting Ukrainian Nazis against the people that protected Canadians. It's literally retarded. Literally, sorry for using the R word. I don't know if you can use that anymore on social media, but roof-tarded. Is that better?
Roof-tarded. There you go.
Is that better? Can you digest that a little better?
I saw an ad, or somebody told me about an ad from the 1980s where it said, it was kind of funny. It said, making fun of mentally handicapped people is retarded. Like that was like the line in it. But yeah, no, people take offense to that word. I don't know why they take offense to that word. It's actually the soft word that was supposed to be before people said mentally retarded. What they would say, they had categorizations.
Well, it's mentally ill is idiot, right?
They had morons and idiots and imbeciles. Yeah. It was all graded on a scale from a long time before, and people found that really offensive. So they said, why don't we just have a nice soft blanket group and we'll just call them mentally retarded, and that'll be the thing. The thing is, I don't know if there's any mentally retarded people that are actually offended by that word. Like I don't know if there is, but
I'm a roofer and people constantly call me a degenerate, a loser, a pathetic human being for becoming a roofer, and that's okay. I have to accept that. They can comment on all my pages and they can do whatever they want. They call me all the same. But if I call them a retard, they'll cancel me. But they can destroy me and threaten me, make fun of who I am and my values, my family values, my lineage. They can do that. That's okay. But I can't say you're retarded, because that was something that we used to describe an intelligent level. That's like moron and idiot and so far and stupid. Those were words that we use to describe an intelligent level, right? That's what it was, right? Mm-hmm. So most roofers are stupid. We're not retarded. We're not idiots, but we're stupid, right? I mean, that's what. But I mean, there used to be that was the way we used to judge people. That was a grading. We graded each other. Now you can't grade. Everyone's perfect unless you're conservative.
Oh, right. So
right?
the tolerance. So there's a tolerance for everybody.
It only goes one way.
All of those walks of life. You have to have tolerate. You got to tolerate everything, except if you think a particular way. Then if you disagree with us, we can't tolerate.
Like so I started farting in public like all the time. I just fart in front of people, like, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're so weird." I'm like, "This is me, man. Tolerate it." And there's shit everywhere, and I'm just a human fucking pile of waste. I'll fucking go here. I'll fart on airports. I'll fart in front of the fucking. I'll be eating dinner and just shit right in a restaurant. Fuck you. Be tolerant. I'm a fart guy. That's what I do. That's all I do. That's all I do. I just fart. Sorry, you don't like me? Fucking move to another table. Be tolerant, you fucking weirdo. I fart on everybody now. Is that a crime?
I don't know. Somebody might consider it a
crime.
somebody might lose their mind and say it's some sort of assault. I don't know. You can't put it past people what they would have to say.
I'm retarded. Then I'm retarded. Then I fart all the time. I'm fartarded. I'm a new word. I'm fartarded. Is that okay?
New words being made up. I'm gonna hit some of these super chats.
New words.
Some of the super chats that came in. Scott with a $13.99 super chat. No comment. Thank you, Scott. Rob Hellfire with a $5 super chat says the Apple logo has a bite because the Beatles, they sued Apple computers for copyright infringement, hence the bite, not religion. Okay. Eat Me which says with a $5 super chat.
Sorry, it sounds like you've been worshiping the devil there, Scott.
Yeah. So Eat Me with a $5 super chat says, shout out to the best roofer in Canada. God is real and love Trump. Hate 100% cocaine. Castro is flipping out because he is forced to deal with the citizens. Penny D with a $5 super chat and no message. Thank you so much, Penny D. A lot of people jumping in there. I think there was one more.
God bless you, Penny D.
Let me have a look here. Yeah, no, that was Penny D. Thank you so much. Insane. You're full energy. That's amazing. But you have to have that to get through a 14-hour day doing roofing. So you're in Houston now. What brings you to Houston? Obviously not the roofing job.
Yeah, I do trade shows all the time. I'm a celebrity in the roofing industry. There's no news to me that people are mad at me, and I'm popular online. I've been doing this for years now.
Oh, cool.
So I go around to conventions and I shake hands. People want to meet me, take pictures. And since I'm in Texas. My popularity, Ox Ranch hunting group wants to take me out to their ranch to shoot off tanks and missile launchers and machine guns, and we're going to make videos. I'm the #1 selling roof artist in the world, so I'm making a new video called Big Time.
Oh, awesome.
It's going to be amazing. So if you're going to be big time, I'm doing it big time. So I'll be shooting guns and missiles and tanks. It's going to be amazing. So we're going to the Ox Ranch tomorrow in San Antonio. And I just want to say thanks to all my fans out there for the last 10 years that have been supporting me, and just we've been kicking ass together, and I couldn't do it without all you guys. And God bless every American and every Canadian that stand by me and protected me and prayed for me. And I'm doing the work I can with the tools I have.
Fair enough. That's incredible. That's actually really incredible. If you can go shoot
I have my own
tanks.
tool line out, by the way.
Oh, what was that? Sorry.
Tool line coming out. Yeah, Best Damn Tools by Prime Grip, and it'll be available worldwide. And also, we have a new store in Toronto called the Roofer Store at rooferstore.ca. So all you leftists that think you canceled me, you fucking failed, you lost. Big Time is fucking making fucking waves. Big Time!
That's amazing. So you
That's
have
my sponsors.
So you have a whole tool line coming out. So like signature, Best Damn Roofer, signature series. What, hammers? And,
well, they're already out. They're already out, some of them, and that's why I'm in Texas promoting them, and alongside with the groups that I work with, and we have a new store in Toronto, like I said, and it's been an amazing adventure. And just if anyone's listening out there and you want to push forward and you want to say what you feel and get your opinion out there, be yourself, be who you are, because that's what you are. Don't be fake. That's what the world wants to see. That's what the media projects. Be yourself. When you're yourself, you're something original, because God made everybody different.
Yeah. Well, I've been taking that advice for the past few years and doing my thing here. And no, it's
Shit, God bless you.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to see such a success out of kind of an obscure thing. The roofing trade. You don't think, oh, big celebrity in the roofing trade, but I guess that's a huge thing. It's amazing. So how did you get started? Because obviously, like, you were a roofer, you have your own company, you're doing your own thing. And then what gave you the idea to take to social media and start?
Just boredom actually on the roof. I bored them and just started. Every roofer, like every crew you're on in a roofing industry, is just crazy. We just talk shit and always. Any roofing crew is like, I am the mold of a roofer. You want to meet her? This is it. A fucking maniac. Because if you want to do that job, you got to be a little loose, right? So
yeah,
we just decided to put it all out there and projected it to the internet. And the first video I made was called The Best Damn Roofer. It was a song. Because I'm a musician, I put it out with a song, and it went viral. 5,000 views in the first day.
Awesome.
And I did it all on my cell phone. I was like making cell phone videos. I just went on for years, and now we're doing professional videos, working with professional companies, doing professional things, and just being roofers. It's an industry that you can't cancel because you need to roof.
Yeah. So we had in our townhouse complex, we had roofs had to be done a few years ago, and it became an issue because there was a shortage of people to actually do the job. So
damn straight.
Yeah, the company came in, and the company that was bid they weren't able to finish the job. They weren't able to get it done on time before the rain season came. So they had to hire in another crew, and to find them was just unbelievably difficult because, you got your busy season and everybody's, well, I'm booked up. I got gigs over here. I got this going on over there, and just trying to do that. Now, how do you swing doing this gig and between this and your busy season with roofing?
Well, like I don't run a crew. I work alone. I do the roof myself. I like to do it alone. I'm always I'm a warrior. I do it. I don't need help. I just do it myself. It's like sex. My wife's like, "Oh, we're not tonight." I'm like, "Good. I do it myself." I don't need you. You already birthed my children. I'm done with you. No, I'm just. So as I got older, I'm going into my 50s now, and I just kind of progressed in doing, we do media marketing. We have a whole production company. We sell tools. So I don't necessarily need to roof every day. So I roof when I can, and I'm teaching people. We have a roofing university I started also in Toronto. It's an indoor roofing facility. It's an actual half of a house that's inside of a building at the the rooferstore.ca. And we teach people so you can learn how to do our shingles from diamond steel shingles. And we have our own line of shingles that we work with. And I just kind of slowly stepped away. I'm still in the roofing industry. I'm just not having to lay shingle every day. Right.
So
you're not,
you're not just scraping by. You're not just barely making ends meet or something like that.
No, I can afford cocaine and hookers.
Okay.
I'm just playing.
That's too funny. But yeah,
I'm married though, so I don't. But I could if I wanted to.
If you needed to, you could fund all of the S&C.
Yeah, I'm drinking banquets and smoking cigarettes. I'm a little low scale. Scale it down.
Fair enough. Yeah. So Trudeau, he needs the funding, I suppose, for his cocaine vendors. So I guess he knows where to.
Yeah. Zelensky's got lots of money.
Yeah. So we hear. But yeah. Man, we're kind of all over the place. I'm trying to go here and there, but you're an animated character. It's really fun chatting with you.
It was a pleasure, brother. Do it again anytime you want me on the show. Just let me know.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, I'm
honored. Thank you very much.
You mentioned that you do this class. Like, who are the people that are signing up for this? Because as a mechanic, we're not getting a lot of apprentices coming in saying, "Can I?" When I was a kid, I used to beg for jobs. I go shop to shop. I want to be a mechanic. Let me in. I'll be a tire guy for a while, and then get me in as an apprentice kind of thing. And it was hard. It was hard going. And nowadays we just can't find people that want to do the job. How are you finding these people to train at this institute?
I got a huge facility. I got a huge online presence, so we just put it out to the industry, and I have a very unique product called Diamond, right? So we offer a very unique product. It's just not your asphalt shingle. So we're trying to better yourself, right? Do something that's metal that you can recycle. It's not such a petroleum product that goes to waste and causes harm to the environment. And with my online presence and my connection with the community, because I'm a roofer, I got street credit, I'm like the Don of the roofing industry, and people want to come learn from me, man. I'm actually, as much as people think I'm a piece of shit and an asshole, I'm actually trying to better the community by making tools, teaching people, and leading us in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I think having apprentices is the most important thing. Like once you've learned your skill, it's important then to pass it on to the next generation. When I was younger, I remember a lot of the older boomers and stuff in the trades, like, I'm not teaching you that, then they'll give you those jobs, and that's my grade.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I'll teach you how to do this kind of job because I don't want to do those. I'll show you how to do alignments all day long or something like that, right? But passing this knowledge on is absolutely crucial, and especially in a time where we have less people entering the trades. Like I almost take it upon myself that like the more apprentices the better. If I can get together with people and teach them as much as I humanly can, then that makes them that'll help them get to that level where they can have apprentices sooner than later.
Well, hear me out, Clyde. How about this? How about you have a new channel called The Best Damn Mechanic? You gotta change it up a little bit, right? You gotta find your apprentices there.
It sounds like a lot of work, actually. Yeah. No,
it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I'm sure you spend.
Well, even what you do is a lot of work, right? Even doing your channel and promoting freedom of speech is a lot of work, right? So if you want to be in any trade, you want to be a mechanic, you want to be a plumber, you want to be a roofer, you want to be a sider, it takes work. So that's what we need to teach the next generation, that you need to work, and that's how you survive.
That's it. So like so many people don't want to work. They think that things come easy. And I mean, every time I say this, I feel like I sound like I'm like some old like fogey.
Your dad.
Yeah. Like, you kids don't want to work these days. And
work ain't pussy. Don't come easy. Sorry.
No, they don't. And that's true.
No,
they don't. And as funny as that sounds, it's very, very true. And there's a lot of people that want the benefits and the rewards and all of this stuff. You hear a lot of people saying like, well, maybe we should have a, you know, universal basic income so people could just, you know, make it by, and then they'll get around to doing some work. As
you know, when you give somebody something, they'll work harder, right? You just give them some food, they'll work for it. No, you keep giving people shit, they don't work at all. You know that's how it works. You don't give people stuff, you work for it. My dad taught me, you go to work, or I got a size 12 work boot, you'll be able halfway up your lower colon. Get the fuck out of the door, boy. You ain't welcome. Get to work, eh? Just a work ethic. We stopped teaching it. You stop teaching a work ethic. It's simple. Get to work. Don't sleep in. Don't play on your phone. Get to fucking work. You got shit to do.
Yeah.
We're teaching our kids to be little fucking lay down video game playing fucking losers. What they're teaching their kids to be a loser. Don't do anything. I had a job at Tim Hortons at fucking 13 years old. I was delivering pizza at 15 and working at Tim Hortons. I bought my own car. I'm driving a car, and I paid for myself. And my insurance at fucking 16.
I can't tell
started
you.
Roofing at 18. I started dealing weed too. Right? What is this? I can work
Confessions of the best damn roofer.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
No, allegedly. My lawyer said allegedly. Allegedly weed. It's legal now. Are you a cop?
Yeah,
you're not a cop, are you?
I don't think the statute of limitations would allow for anything right now at this point. But that's crazy. So like, I can't tell you how many crappy jobs I've had over the years, and I think it's actually the crappiest jobs that gave me the work ethic that I have, because now that I have a good job, it's more cushy now, right? Like as a more senior mechanic, you get some of the better tasks. You're not the one doing all the tires, and you're not doing all the crappy jobs, right? But I've had jobs where it was like, you know, digging ditches and stuff, and getting out, not doing fun stuff. Let's just say that, like working in the mines and digging out conveyor belts and doing all this stuff, and it's not fun. But knowing that you were able to do that, the reward of being able to provide for yourself, being able to do all that, provide for your family, you know what I mean? Provide for not just yourself, but provide for other people. And then when the good job comes, then you can appreciate more where you're at. And I never complain, because it's just like, why? I know what bad looks like.
You worked your way to the top. That's you get to that position. That's what these kids don't want to work that. They don't want to work to the top, right? They just want it now. That's it, and that's why you appreciate your job you have now, because you worked for it, right? Mm-hmm. And this new generation, like, I want what you have. Like, holy fuck, boy! Like, look at this. This is fucking 27 years of roofing, man. You want that? Like, get in fucking line, right? You're not handing this, so it ain't Halloween, right? Fuck.
I show all my arthritic knuckles, and I'm like, "You want this? Like,
you want some of this, bird?"
Like that.
Is he on coke? Probably. He's a roofer.
So how hard is it though, like, for people? Okay, so like, I'm a mechanic. I'm cushy now. I've worked out in industry where, you know, you're rained on every day and all that stuff, and I'm happily under a roof every single day now. Yeah, it's Canada, so things get cold, but you just deal with that. But like, being a roofer, like, what would you be doing in the winter anyway as a roofer? I
roof in the winter, buddy. I'm hard as fuck, bro. I'm not gonna do anything. But hey, I'm fucking a little snow, a little piss and rain. I'll go to work hungover. I won't even sleep sometimes, man. Fucking buddy. Okay, we're a different breed, and then we're a dying breed. Roofers are tough as fucking nails. And you know what I want to tell you something about a roofer? Mm-hmm. Never fight one. Never fight a roofer. You know why? Because kicking your fucking ass will be the easiest thing he's done all week.
Oh, you were born in the wrong generation. You should have been writing all the one-liners for Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Yeah, I'm an old soul.
Yeah,
I'm an old soul.
That's so good. That's so good. But yeah, this is work ethic. Work ethic is a thing that people just don't have these days, and we see this coming out of universities as well. Like, I noticed it was pushed when I was a kid. I was like right at the cusp of the generation where they started saying, hey, we need to give participation trophies out and stop giving prizes to like the
purple ribbon.
Yeah, the purple ribbons. And it gave kids some like weird ideas, right? They thought like, oh, I'm so good because, you know, there was nobody to judge it from. There was no scale to say like, no, actually you suck at that and maybe you might want to work on something else, you know, that kind of thing.
I'm the youngest of 4 brothers, so like my last name's Bigger, right? I'm the littlest one, so I have these 3 older brothers towering over me, beating the fuck out of me just because I was small, right? Like that was my life. I was like, holy fuck, like, you know, there's no purple ribbon. There's fucking, you know, white flag is all I had. I surrendered. I'm not gonna rip your underwear off your asshole, they kick you in the dick and send you out to fucking cry, right? You know what I mean? Like, holy fuck, these little kids on a purple ribbon for what? Participating? Get out of here. You know, pull that bullshit here.
Well, it really is
no,
like,
I don't play those games.
It is like the celebration of mediocrity, right? Instead of
idiocracy.
Yeah, but like instead of celebrating the, you know, the champions in a thing, you're celebrating just like mundane people that are not very good at stuff, and then you're leaving aside the people that are actually good at the things, and not allowing.
What are pilots going to be in like another 20 years? Like, oh, that pilot's like, he's pretty good, right? Like, oh, that surgeon that's doing your heart surgery, he's okay. Like, oh shit! Like, is that where we're fucking lining up? The future says be it's gonna be a slaughterhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You want the best person for the job. And like, when you get out into actual industry, like that's not how it works. You actually have specialization and people getting into this stuff. But what I've noticed though is the absolute rage from these kids that were told their whole lives, like, it's okay, you're coddled, and you know you'll better, you know, it's none of this better luck next time. It's like, you're good enough. You're good enough, and it was great. You did a great job, even though like they flopped at a thing.
You failed. Like, you shit your pants, bud. But you know what? Next time, maybe it'll be the toilet.
But
you pooped your pants. That's still pretty good. Like, that's terrible. You shit yourself.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Wipe it up yourself. Go to bed and cry yourself to sleep. You fucking loser. Really? That's what my parents would have told me. You fucking idiot. You shit yourself. What are you, fucked?
There's just a happy medium there somewhere.
Like, holy fuck, I was raised good. You fucking shit yourself. Get to bed. Wipe yourself up, you clown.
So,
you know, like.
What I was looking into is that there's actually been psychological studies to show that people who aren't well adjusted in that way, when they become out of adolescence and go into their adulthood, and they've never been told no, that they actually lash out at being told no violently because they
become rapists.
And other things, other awful,
fucking bullshit.
Yeah, other violent things. Where I was getting to is like the university students that, you know, when somebody comes to their campus that they disagree with, they go out and they rage, and they have these screaming fits, and they break things, and this is their way of getting back at or I don't know.
Well, let's go back to that point where we talked about, Clyde, where did your mother spank you, right? Would you scream and shout at your mother, or did you fear her? You wouldn't. I never. There was no temper tantrum when I was a kid. I got a rolling pin over the back of the fucking head, a fucking high heel. Fuck off, fucking. You know what I mean? You didn't pull no scream and scout and stamp your feet. Didn't get you anywhere in my house. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And if you didn't shut the fuck up, your 3 older brothers are gonna kick the fuck out of you for being a fucking pussy. And if dad wasn't even home yet. When dad comes home from work, he'll kick you with that size 12 work boot right in your fucking arsehole.
Yeah,
this is the problem.
So
that's a fucking problem.
I didn't get a lot of lickings when I was a kid. Like, it wasn't a thing. Like I remember specifically.
Well, I didn't either. I just hid from them. Yeah. My brother's got a little. Yeah, mom swinging. I was the youngest one. I just fucking hid under the couch. You know what I mean? Like. Your discipline works. Your discipline goes a long way.
I'll never forget one. So my parents did it a different way, rather than overusing the smacking around or whatever. I remember specifically one time we went to church and I was acting up and I was being a royal shit, and like it was embarrassing for my family, right? And so my dad leaned over and he just says quietly in my ear, "When you get home, you're getting a spanking." And I just melted. You know, like, this is happening. I don't know.
And now if you cry, you're getting 2, right?
Yeah. And so the whole car ride home, there was like, I was quiet the whole time. Maybe he'll forget about it. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah, he's looking forward to that shit. That's what dads do. Like, oh, beat the fucker. Not that way, but you know what I mean? Like, discipline goes a long way.
It's so funny.
You still remember today. You still remember it right now.
Still remember it.
That's what it does. It fucking instills fucking good behavior to make good people, to be good citizens, good family men, and good fucking fathers, and good friends, and good Canadians.
Well, get this.
Thank you. Your dad.
My dad, yeah. So
God bless him.
And he's a hard guy. He's military. You know, he was military at one point. He was U.S. Air Force.
God bless him.
And so we get to the house and we go in. And I'm kind of sneaking in, like, he's gonna forget. I'm gonna get away with this. And he's just like, Clyde, come over to the couch. And I had to go over his knee, and he, I was wailing. He didn't even smack me hard.
No,
he just
it's
gave
not
me
about hitting you hard.
No.
It's about the whole process,
it was
right?
the process, and then he's like, I gotta talk. Okay, you can't behave like this. You know, it's not gonna fly. You know.
And talking about dads, my dad did the same thing, but like, you know, he never got it. It wasn't like he got fucking beat, right? It was about the whole process of being disciplined.
Yeah.
Going back to that, being disciplined, and my dad taught me that like, raising a dog. My dad would raise hunting dogs. And the dog would disobey, and my dad would get over here, and he yelled. The dog would come nose down. And my dad would take his hat off, and the dog was just like this, and my dad would just tap his hat on the dog's nose. And the dog was like, "Oh fuck!" But he just knew he did something wrong. There was no physical abuse. It was just about the discipline, military style. I mean, your dad's a military man, you said.
Yeah.
And it's just about. And my dad's a firefighter. My whole family's firefighter. It's about discipline and respect. And that's what we've lost. I mean, we're far gone from that. And it builds character. Look at you, Clyde. Look what you're doing for society. Like, you respect your parents and what they've done. They loved you, but you have to have discipline. Love doesn't come without discipline. It really doesn't. And it's sad that a lot of parents out there don't discipline their kids. It's like, well, I want my kids to love me. You know what? If you discipline the kids, they'll love you more. I love my mother and dad. And if they're watching right now, I love you, mom and dad. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to teach the kid not to go near the sharp knives, not go near the hot stove. Don't go near the water where you can drown. Like, you need to have structure for children. And if people don't nowadays, and this is the aftermath of it. We got kids laying in the street with purple hair and lips. Save the dolphins, or whatever their fucking next act of this bullshit is. Or I want to cut my penis off and the school won't let me, We need to fucking discipline our children. And this is what happened when you don't discipline your kids. We have fucking renegade of kids running around being assholes.
Well, yeah, we've come right to the point where we let the child decide a lot of things that are very important in their own lives. I mean, we don't let our kids decide on tattoos or if they're gonna smoke or drink or any of that stuff. But yet there's all this push to say you shouldn't have any say in what your children decide when it comes to life-changing alterations to their body and reproductive system.
Well, we fear the government. We don't fear God. We fear the government, the repercussions of speaking out against their beliefs, and the children don't fear their parents.
Well, that's right? The new religion, isn't it? It's the religion.
Well, it's satanic.
Well, it's a state.
You read the
state religion.
You read the Bible. I'll tell you, it's all in the book, man. It's all there. It's all in the book. It's all in the book. The devil's real. The smartest thing the devil ever did was convince everyone he doesn't exist.
Yeah, and these people, they worship the state. They think that the state is going to save them from everything. I mean, we saw that in the Bolshevik Revolution. We saw that in the Maoist Revolution, even as recent as Hugo Chavez and their idea behind this new communist man, and people will become this new thing if they follow this new cultural revolution. They're trying to transform themselves into something that they're not, and what's wrong with just being normal human beings, really, at the end of the day?
I tell everybody they got to take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass, respect Mother Nature, respect your family, respect your loved ones, and stick to your family. Don't worry about the government. Worry about your bloodline. Worry about who you are. Find yourself in your family. Family is the most important thing you'll ever have. If you don't have family, you have nothing.
You know the first person to tell me recently to take my shoes off and stand in the grass. What's behind that? What is that thought?
Every living organism lives on this ground and grounds to the great creation that was designed by the great creator. So we live in this facade, in this mechanism, in this matrix. When you ground and you get in the water of a lake or an ocean, or put your feet in the sand, that's what we're supposed to do. So you're not supposed to wear shoes. We're not designed for that. You need to be one with the divine creation. That's very simple. You ground. Very simple.
That's funny because my kids, they're naturally the first thing I want to do that they have a chance to kick their shoes off and they run around.
I do it every morning with my coffee and put them in the fucking ground. If you do 10 minutes a day, it's one of the healthiest things you can do for your life, right?
What's the science behind that? Not just the spirituality part of that.
Well, we're all electrical organisms, and you need to ground to Mother Nature. That's what we're a part of. We're not supposed to live in this structure built by man. Touch your feet to the great creation, right? Be one with the creation. People think this is just like they don't understand life. Right? You have to break it down. Be on earth. Touch it, feel it, love it. Mother Nature is real. God is real. The creator is real. And the things that we live in are made by man. But when you touch what was made by God, you can heal yourself.
Wow, that's powerful. That it gives chills down your spine when you hear something.
Well, that's what. When you get up, I'm going to go outside and put my feet in the dirt as soon as we're done here. Right?
Just go get your feet dirty. I'm just going to go get my feet dirty. That's funny. That really is funny. But there is a thing
it's
like
serious, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's real.
I've noticed. I mean, I'm very much a shoe person. I like having my shoes on because I'm always in shops and I'm always in work environments and stuff like that.
No, but take the time to set yourself, and you actually ground. It's called grounding. People know about it. I've done it for years. You're actually grounding with the environment you're from. You were created from this planet or this earth, this creation. That's where you came from. You didn't come from this architecture that was built by man. You came from the architecture of God, which is Mother Nature. So enjoy it.
Yeah, that's
Touch
interesting.
base with it.
That's interesting. So I've always told people go touch grass because it's an expression, right? Go touch grass. Get away.
Smoke grass too.
Get away from
that helps.
Get away from your computer. Get away from your smartphone. Get away from your stuff. Go touch grass and look around. See what's out there because it's not all.
So anyone watching after this podcast, I'm taking these fucking sandals off. I'm gonna go dip them in the fucking sand out here in Texas.
Texas, right?
I will. Trust me. Oh yeah, I'll dig my toes right in there, squeal them right in there.
Oh wow, what's the weather like in Texas right now? By the way,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I bet it is. It's nice out here in British Columbia, but it's getting chilly. It is getting chilly.
You're from BC. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a beautiful place, but the people there aren't so much.
Oh, there are some characters. Let's just say that it's interesting. But we're going through some trial and tribulations. I think people are starting to turn around. They're starting to see the ill-gotten gains and the bad ways of the NDP here out in British Columbia. And seeing what the fruits of those of that turn out to be, because
politicians aren't there for us.
No, and nobody can afford a house anymore. British Columbia is like the worst in the country. Cannot afford a home. I was just talking about this before you came on about how insane it is. The cheapest 3-bedroom townhouse in this town for rent is going for $4,000 a month. Like families can't afford this.
Insane.
What do you do?
Yeah, 40 grand or 40, what would be 48 grand a year to just your rent. So that's before taxes, right? So you need to make 60 grand a year just to pay for your house, let alone food.
Yeah.
Anything else, detergent, clothes, shoes, vehicle, insurance. It's insane. And everyone's like, that's why I'm telling people stand up. They're attacking everyone. This government is attacking everything. Canada used to be the best place to live. We have all the resources. We have everything we need for a country, but we've let a dictatorship come over, and everyone's just too afraid to stand up. Right? I don't want anyone to make fun of me or say I'm an idiot or blah, blah, blah. Fuck everybody else. Stand up for what you believe, because This is coming to a fucking head, and if we don't stand up and believe in what we want as a future in a country, we won't have anything left.
Do you think they're saving Canada?
Do I think we're saving Canada? I think people are trying. I think the government has psyops against people fighting for that. I mean, you've seen that in the Ottawa convoy where somebody stands up like Tamara Leach, and she's prosecuted for following the fundamental rights of Canadians from the Charter of Rights subsection. You can read it all. You have the right to protest. You have the right to. In the natives, the indigenous people shut the streets down. These are shut down the railroads. And all of a sudden we come there and have a peaceful protest where we're giving out hugs and hot dogs, and all of a sudden they put people in jail for 300 days, 600 days. Of course, they're scared. They're scared, and you are scared too. Most people are scared to fight against government. The government's scared of you too. If we all get together, there's power in numbers. There's seriously power in numbers. And if anyone's watching this, if we can all just stand up and the problem with these groups and these freedom movements is people start fighting in between these movements because they get the little fame online. They don't know how to take it, right? And they're like, I'm this and I'm that. No. We don't need to fight online. That's not what it's about. We need to stand up against the government, and we the people. That's why it's written in the Charter of Rights in America. It's not the Charter of Rights, the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
But you're supposed to have the right as people. Your opinion's supposed to matter, but they've confused everybody with these cell phones and all this technology, and people just argue rather than sticking together. So we'd rather fight than, fight as one. And it's been a battle. It's been an uphill battle, but I mean, I have nothing to lose because I know what's after this life. I know where I'm going. Everyone else is going to hell. I'm going to heaven. I don't care. And you know what? People are like, you can't swear and be a good person. I can fucking swear all the fucking want and be a fucking good fucking person. You know what makes you a fucking good fucking person is stand up for your beliefs and protect your fucking children. Swearing doesn't make you a fucking bad fucking person because I fucking swear all the fucking time and I'm a good fucking person and all the good fucking people who I fucking know fucking swear all the fucking time. That's a fucking fact. My dad swore all the fucking time. He's a fucking gem. So did my mother, and she's a fucking saint.
Fair enough.
But she had 4 boys to raise, and she had to fucking swear to raise these fucking boys to be fucking good fucking people.
Well, so much for keeping it family friend. No, it's fine.
No. Sorry, buddy.
It's fine. It's fine. I have this way. So when I normally do videos, and that's fine. We will. You've expressed yourself the way you want to. I normally just don't do swears because I know in my 10-minute videos I do in the mornings. And in the afternoons, I know a lot of people are watching it with their kids in the room, so I just try to keep it.
Can I get time to say sorry to everybody that I swore, but I'm a father of 5 and I apologize, but I'm very upset right now the way the country's gone, and I defend family and love and unity and Christ and the belief of a God, a divine creator, and I'm sorry for swearing if I hurt your feelings, but God told me to.
It's no big deal because this is the live show and it's a different sort of gig, but
it's like it's 11 o'clock at night right now.
Yeah. So so that's how I do it in my normal videos, and that's just out of respect for parents, but. I want people to express themselves the way they want to express themselves. What I was going to say though is I have a way of shutting it off. I know other tradesmen and military guys. They say like, "Oh, I just swear all the time. It's just the way I am." And like, "Oh yeah, when your granny's around, are you swearing then?" Like most of us know how to turn it off, and that's what I do.
Do you want to hear a joke my grandmother told me?
Oh,
see, I was at a if your kids are in the room, just turn it off, okay?
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. So I had a bunch of friends who got new tattoos. We had a bunch. I was in a punk band years ago. We used to go on tour with Blink-182 and Sum 41.
Oh, cool.
Back Sunday, they used. I've been on tour before, but anyways, we had a bunch of punk rockers at my cottage, and they had a bunch of tattoos. My grandma was like, "Well, I got a tattoo." They're like, "Oh, cool." She said, "You want to see it?" She goes like this. She's like, "It's right here." She starts pulling her pants down in front of all my friends. And she's like, "Oh," and she's like, "Can you see it?" And she keeps pulling her pants. Like, holy shit. He goes, "Can you see it?" She goes, they're like, everyone's trying not to look kind of, right? And they're like, she's like, it's a tattoo of a mouse. And they're like, well, we can't see it. She's like, oh, that's too bad. My pussy must have ate her.
Oh, what? That's no way.
Oh, yeah. No, hey, that's how I was raised.
That's funny.
Hey, come on now.
That's funny.
Sorry about that.
That really is
I
funny.
apologize, but that's, hey, you got to live a little, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, there's a place for swearing and all that stuff. And you're killing me with that. Let's get to some of these.
You should have told me that before we started this.
Oh, no,
I gotta go
that's
soon,
fine.
though. I'm running out of time here. I got another podcast I got to jump on.
Yeah, no problem. We're just gonna go for the 1 hour mark. I'm gonna do a couple of super chats here, and then we'll wrap up.
Sure thing, brother.
We got Rob Hellfire with a $5 super chat. Says, oh no, so that we covered that one already. Chippy's Outdoors says for $10 says pew pews are always a good time. Rick Rodabale, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. No message there.
Way to go, Rick.
100 Dead 001 with a $5 super chat. Roofing isn't a job, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, big time.
Scott with the $17.99 super chat. Cheers. Couple of wobbly pops for you, Clyde and Roofer. Absolutely. Michael McLean with a $5 super chat. Please ask Roofer why he flies the old Canadian English flag with the UK flag. I fly it too. Yeah, you want to answer that?
Okay. All right. Well, so I don't fly the Union Jack. That's called the King's flag, which was the first flag ever flown in Canada. Right. That was the first flag that I fly people ask. That was the first flag planted in Canada.
Okay.
The second one is the Red Ensign, which my grandfather was forced to go to war with that on his shoulder. So that's why I fly the Red Ensign, and I also wear the other flag. So I fly all three flags of Canada.
I remember people.
A lot of people ask me that. They're like, "You're flying the Union Jack." I'm like, no, I'm flying the King's flag, right? The Loyalist. It's called the Loyalist flag, actually. If you want to. So before Canada was a country, they brought that, and that was the first flag that was flown here. Was the Loyalist flag. Although I don't believe in the monarchy, I still respect history. And if you watch my videos, I actually took the King's flag and I planted it in front of the Parliament and I called myself the King. So.
All right.
Good time.
So let's get to some other ones here. Yeah. So that was the UK flag, or not the UK flag, the ensign flag. I've heard people make charges that it's a racist flag. I tried looking that up. I didn't find any annotation of it being racist in any real way.
It was actually the flag that the Queen made all of her soldiers wear. So the Queen, you can call her racist, but the men that wore it were forced to go to war. So whether you be Hispanic, whether you be Mexican, whether you be Irish, whether you be Scottish, whether you be Russian, whether you be German, you're an immigrant, you had to wear that to die for her. So it is not racist. If you want to call it racist, you can take it up with the pedophiles and the monarch.
Well, yeah, I'll leave that to people to do that. Steve's Hyde with a $5 super chat. Universal basic income will give government the ability to turn off people's money. I agree with that. Rick Robitaille, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, with another $10 super chat. No message. Eat me. Robitaille. I'm terrible. I'm dyslexic, and I know do
my producer's French, so he's like, it's Robitaille, motherfucker.
Okay, fair enough. I used to get in trouble talking about Guy Laffer. Like, who's this Guy Laffer guy?
Don't you piss off those French Canadians.
Yeah, right.
No merci.
Eat me with a $2 super chat. Wokeism is a religion. No one is none the wiser. Al Stewart with a $10 super chat says another awesome interview. Thank you so much. And we got one more from Rick Yem IRT with a $10 super chat. I love it. Sometimes you need to swear, and it just is the way it is. Sometimes,
and I'm sorry for swearing, but really I'm not.
No, you're not. You don't have to be. It's
I'm
fine.
not. Can you put something on the beginning of the video where it says you guys swear and kids don't listen?
Yeah, I'll put like that parental warning that you used to see on CDs back in the 90s.
Hey, go to Pride Week, the guy will jerk off in front of your kids. If you go to Pride Week, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, and the books that they've been giving out in these schools with like very explicit material, it's that's fine.
If you're mad at me swearing, go take your kid to a fucking drag show. How's that sound?
Perfect. Well, hey, Best Damn Roofer, I want to thank you for joining in. I want to thank everybody for joining in on the live.
Thank you for having me here, buddy.
Absolutely, and have you anytime again.
And anytime you want me here, I'll come and join you, pal.
And if you're ever out in British Columbia, drop me a line because it'd be awesome to get together.
I just sold the diamond roof of the Chilliwack.
Chilliwack.
River.
It's a bit.
Yeah, so I might have to.
Yeah, it's a ways out, but I might be able to make the trip.
Well, make something happen.
That would be fun. That would be fun. All right, thanks everybody for joining in, and as always, keep on trucking and roofing
and mechanicking.